Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the Arctic Coliseum, where it is your Pioneer men's varsity hockey team in town to take on the Pinckney Pirates. And again, we we went through all sorts of different hot spots and all sorts of different ways to try and get connectivity here. And again, we're on the cell phone, but I think we have it so that it'll be a little bit easier for us today. So let us announce that Pioneer men's varsity hockey is live and on the air. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the Arctic Coliseum here in Chelsea, where it is Pioneer in town to take on the Pinckney Pirates. The Pinckney Pirates coming out onto the ice now. Pioneer should be out momentarily, but let's take a little bit of a look at both of these teams. Pioneer is 8-2-1. They're coming off of a win versus Wyandotte Roosevelt. That was a 8-2 win. They now have 5 wins in a row. Pioneer trying to keep that going here. They would love to stretch that out and do what they can going into a huge game versus Skyline on Wednesday. So they would like to keep their winning ways. Now, speaking of Skyline, well, this Pinckney team, guess who they just played and guess who they just beat 3-2 the other night, Saturday evening. Last night, that was in overtime. So we will talk about that in just a moment. But what that tells you is this Pinckney team is certainly no pushover, and Pioneer is going to have to do everything they can to try and come out with a win here in this building. They're 1-1, losing to Skyline earlier. That was a 5-3 win by Skyline. And then last last Saturday, on the back end of a doubleheader, they beat Lenawee 8-2. Lenawee, by the way, the game just before this, Lenawee played the Dexter Dreadnoughts, and Dexter won that one. I believe last time I looked, it was a score of 4-1. So let's take a look at the last game that Pioneer played over versus Wyandotte Roosevelt. It started off, Pioneer had 5 goals in the first. Wyandotte did not have any, so it was 5-0 at the end of one. Wyandotte had a goal in the second. That was the lone goal, so that ended up being 5-1. At the end of 2, and then Pioneer chipped in 3 goals in the third. Wyandotte Roosevelt got a goal for the 8-2 win. According to the power plays on this live sheet, it says Pioneer was 0-0, so they had no power plays, and Wyandotte Roosevelt was 0-4. They don't list any of the Wyandotte Roosevelt players, so I can't tell you who scored the 2 goals for them, but we can tell you exactly what the goal scoring for Pioneer was. Started off, well, I don't know what the order was, but your goal scores for Pioneer: Whitelock had a goal, 2 goals for Caribbean, 2 goals for Jekyll, 3 goals for Chikachi, for a total of 8 goals, 15 assists, 2 assists by Ralph Dixon, 1 assist by Whitelock, and 5 assists by Coattree. He might not have scored a goal, but boy, he set up a good number of them. 2 assists by Fitzgerald, 2 assists by Monsma, 2 assists by Chikachi. He had a 5-point game as well, and 1 assist by Kresge. It was Davis between the pipes all 51 minutes, faced 28 shots on goal, saved 26 of them in the win. Flipping over and taking a look at your top point getters for Pioneer. At number 1 with 32 points on 13 goals and 19 assists is Jack Chikachi. Number 2 is Ethan Coattree. He has 27 points. That on 9 goals and 18 assists. Sean Fitzgerald, the other member of that top line, has 14 points. That on 7 goals and 7 assists. Adam Caribbean comes in at the number 4 spot, 12 points. That on 9 goals and 3 assists. And Eli Jekyll has 10 points, that on 5 goals and 5 assists. So those are your top 5 point scores for Pioneer. It has been A couple different goalies playing. Davis has played 7 games, 327 minutes between the pipes, 4 wins, 1 loss, 1 tie. He's faced 172 shots on goal, saved 155 of them. 17 goals against for a 2.65 goals against average and a very solid .901 save percentage. Luke Boyd has played 4 games, 118 minutes between the pipes, 3 wins, 1 loss, 19 shots on goals, 17 saves, 2 goals against, a .80 save percent, 0.80 goals against average, and an .895 save percentage. So that is fantastic. And then Julius Cass, whose father, Jeff Cass, does some fantastic play-by-play, including that Wyandotte Roosevelt game. So we are so grateful to Jeff and appreciate it greatly. He's played 34 minutes between the pipes, faced 13 shots on goal, saved 2 of them, 2 goals against for 3 goals against average, and an .846 save percentage. So future looks bright. Lots of great goaltending available for Pioneer. Pioneer has outscored their opponents. They have the period the Pioneer scores the most in is the first period. They have 25 goals. The opponents have 8. So you're looking at a 17 goal differential. It comes down 16 goals for Pioneer in the second. That's the least amount of goals per period. The opponents have 9, least amount there as well, but it ends up being a 9 goal differential there. And then it is a 10 goal differential in the third. Pioneer has 19 goals. The opponents have 9. 2 overtime goals for Pioneer, none for the opponents. That's 62 goals for Pioneer, 24 for the opponents. If you throw in some assists there, 143 points for Pioneer, 51 for the opponents. The power play percentages aren't set properly there. But if you take a look at the goalie percentage between Pioneer and their opponents, Pioneer has a 2.24 combined goals against average. The opponents have a 4.25. Pioneer has a 897 save percentage. The opponents have an 893, so a little closer there. Pioneer has 2 shutouts. The opponents don't have any. Let's take a look. By the way, Pioneer in their alternate black jerseys with the numbers in white on the back. They have the Pioneer logo with the Frontier wagon on the front there in that kind of logo and shield on the front, black helmets, so nice crisp looking black uniform. And we'll talk, by the way, a little bit. It looks like if you go out to MHSAA.com, there is actually now brackets up. And Pioneer the last 3 years has had Trenton end their season. The last 2 years, first game right out of the bat was versus Trenton, and that's just been tough. Last year, I think it was they beat us by a few goals. 2 years ago, it was a 2-1 game. 3 years ago, we ended up beating Skyline. We beat Huron, and then we ran into Trenton. That was at the Ann Arbor Ice Cube, and Trenton beat us there. So they've ended our playoff run in the last couple of years. Well, guess what? We have a bye. We're number 1 in our District 16, or we're number 2. Skyline's number 1 in District 16. So we both, us and Skyline, have a bye, and we're on opposite sides of the bracket. So, well, who do we play? We play the winner of New Boston, Huron, and Trenton. So we well could, assuming Trenton's a very good team, they may well beat New Boston, Huron, and then Pioneer would play Trenton on the 18th of this month over at the Kennedy Ice Arena. Last year it was over here. 2 years ago it was at the Kennedy Ice Arena. That's Trenton's home rink. So it's quite possible that we'll be over there. Well, we're definitely going to be at Kennedy, but it's a distinct possibility that we will get Trenton the first game of the playoffs again. Now, we've played them several years in a row. Hopefully we can find a way to get past them this year, but they are always a tough team and always play us tough. But let's talk a little bit about Pinckney. Enough about the upcoming playoffs, because we got a few games before we get there. Pinckney is 6-2-1, so very, very similar records. right? Pioneer 8-2-1, Pinckney 6-2-1. They had a loss to Salem and a loss to Chelsea. It was 0-7 to Salem. Chelsea beat them 3-2. That was here. Those were the second and third games of the season. Since then, they have played 6 games unbeaten. The second to last one was a tie versus Temperance Bedford down at the Toledo Ice House. We will see that. The team will be at the Toledo Ice House second half of a doubleheader next Saturday. But their last game, they beat Skyline. So they beat Skyline last night. Friday night, they played Temperance Bedford and tied them 4-4. No result listed for the Jackson game back on the 4th. So they have I don't know if the Jackson game happened or not. It doesn't look like it. But this would be their third game in a row. So they're looking to increase a winning streak. They've won 1 in a row, but they've been unbeaten in 6. That last game versus Skyline got on the board early in the first, so it was 1-0 at the first intermission. Then Pinckney scored twice in the second, so it was 2-1 Pinckney at the second intermission. Then Skyline scored in the third, descended to overtime, where Pinckney sealed it out and won. Goal scorers: Schmunk had a goal for Skyline, Newton had a goal for Skyline, 2 assists for Schmunk, 1 assist for Nakamura, and 1 assist for Newton for Skyline. Letke played between the pipes for Pinckney. It was a goal by Beckwith. It was a goal by Druss. It was a goal by Christopher for 3 goals. The assists were Beckwith with an assist, Mead with an assist, and Christopher with an assist for 3 goals and 3 assists. Max Lederer played between the pipes for Pinckney. Top 5 scores for Pinckney. Who do you need to worry about? Well, number 9, Evan Druss, has 17 points, that on 8 goals and 9 assists. Jacob Mead has 16 points and 7 goals and 4 assists. With 14 points is Bennett Shepard, number 19. He has 10 goals and 4 assists. Number 4 is Adams. He has 3 goals and 6 goals and 3 assists for 9 points. Then a trio of players wrap up the 5th spot. Evans, Sullivan, and Beckwith all have 6 points. Starting lineups for Pioneer. Ralph Dixon comes out for Pioneer. Liam Schaefer, another starter for Pioneer. Eli Jekyll being announced as a starter for Pioneer. Heath Mansma starting for Pioneer. He comes skating out, number 19. And Ben Martin, your other blue liner, comes out for Pioneer. And it's Davis between the pipes for the Pioneers. As all the Pioneers skates the blue line. Now we'll have the starting lineups for the opposing team. Now for the Pinckney Pirates. Beckwith starting for the Pinckney Pirates.
Number 7, playing forward, Brendan Sullivan.
Sullivan starting forward for Pinckney.
Number 9, playing forward, Evan Druth.
As Druce being announced. Evans starting forward for Pinckney.
Number 21, playing defense, Wyatt Jones.
And Jones, the other starting defender. And between the pipes is Max Lederer. And the rest of the Pinckney Pirates. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to honor America, the playing of the national anthem. We have a good crowd here as it is a Pinckney home game. Therefore, number of folks out here, both Pinckney and Pioneer folks out, and it's fantastic to get to see everyone out here all masked up and doing their best to socially distance. But good to have a cheering section here. Wonderful to see as Pinckney gathered around Lederer to our right as they're gathered around their goal. And then Pioneer gathered around Coach Garcia getting last-minute instructions. And now they come out onto the ice. We appreciate you joining us here on a Sunday afternoon. I know there's a few other games going on out there. I haven't even looked to see. I know there's a big basketball game happening, but what we're concerned about is a little ice hockey here. As Pioneer plays the Pirates, lots of alliteration and P's going on there. Monsma in to take the face-off. That comes in along the near boards, sent deep into the near corner. Trying to pick it up is Beckwith. Beckwith sends it along into the far corner. That back behind Lederer. Comes along the far boards, trying to pick that up. Sent by Evans right back. Now Monsma has it in along the M boards. Monsma pinned against the M boards, trying to peel that away. That puck comes into the near corner. Corralled by Pinckney, trying to get it out. Sullivan and Dixon had a big crash out along the near boards. That puck sent outside the far circle. Trying to tip that away. The puck loose on the far circle. That lifted all the way out into the neutral zone. Liam Schaefer has it in along the near boards. Chips that off the near boards ahead. That into the zone. Monsma chasing it into the near corner, trying to get away from Jones. Jones goes down hard into the boards. Looking for a check from Monsma, and just a little off target. That puck all the way in along the far boards. Chipped ahead. Here comes Sullivan with it for Pinckney. Sullivan with a shot that just goes wide. All the way back to the far point. Stopped by Jones. Held in by Pinckney. That goes right back behind the Pioneer goal. Coming in along, that fired out all the way back into the neutral zone. That was tipped by Walling. Goes right back behind the Pinckney goal. Picked up there. Walling trying to reset. Fitzgerald out for Pioneer. That comes in along the near boards. Chasing it is Churchill. Churchill has it outside the far circle. Stopping, spinning. As that puck in along the far boards right in front of the Pioneer bench. Picked him, fired right back in by Pinckney. That bounces right back behind Davis. Corralled and coming the other direction. Here comes Pioneer as Churchill sends it. Now coming ahead. Coming down the near side. Here's Coattree. Coattree, top of the near circle. As that deflects back behind the Pinckney goal into the near corner. Spinning with it, Chikachi. Trying to get it out in front. Now there's a stick that goes spinning high into the air. The puck in the slot, controlled by Pinckney. Heading the other direction is Mead. Mead coming in along the near boards of the neutral zone. Trying to chip that away is McDaniel. As that puck comes all the way back into the Pinckney zone. Picking it up, trying to head the other way is Layton. Layton feeds it ahead. Here comes Pinckney over their own blue line. Bringing it into the zone is Shepard, top of the near circle. Shepard goes into the near corner, trying to center it. That chipped away. The puck in along the near boards. Out into the slot. That knocked down. Shot deflected off of the Pioneer defense. Picking it up, Evans in the near corner. Evans in along the near boards outside the near circle. That chipped away by the Pioneer defense. Excellent job by Fitzgerald. He sends it over to Coattree. Coattree in his own slot sends ahead. Fitzgerald tips it. That goes all the way back. That'll be icing as Fitzgerald was just the other side of center ice. So that'll come back into the Pioneer zone. That is going to be to Davis's right. But again, because it is high school hockey, they're still able to get a line change in. So it'll be Sullivan in to take the face-off for Pinckney versus, I believe that's Caribbean on the other side. That puck dropped. Pulled away, loose, that chipped into the near corner, trying to knock it around. That lifted by Druss all the way back into the neutral zone, picked up by Sullivan. Sullivan backhands it, brought in. There's Evans with a shot blocker, save by Boyd as the puck goes to the near point, bouncing top of the near circle, coming in. That's a shot that just goes wide, knocked down as Druss took a good shot there. Here comes Pioneer with it as I believe that's Lucas Schaefer getting into the zone. That put into the far corner. Druss trying to pull it away. That in outside the near circle, lifted into the neutral zone. Here comes Pinckney. They've carried a lot of the play. That shot, good pad save by Boyd. Centering attempt, that picked up by Pioneer as they go over their own neutral zone. Here comes Whitelock, gains the zone. Whitelock centering attempt, that tipped away by Walling into the near corner, or into the far corner. That chipped away. Brought back by Christopher. Christopher feeds ahead for Shepard. That into Pioneer zone, knocked the other direction by Churchill. As that puck right to Pioneer blue line. Lifted all the way down ice. That'll be icing again. And at 13-12, we'll head back the other direction into the Pioneer zone. 13 minutes, 12 seconds left to go here in the first period. 0-0 is our score. Face-off in the far face-off circle. That's the Boyd's left. It's Coattree in there. And on the other side, that's Meade for Pinckney. As that puck controlled by Pioneer, backhanded off of the far boards into the neutral zone, then rocketed the other direction from center ice. Battle for it right in front of the Pioneer bench, pulling it in. Shepard goes high slot, now coming over. Meade trying to feed it over to Shepard. That comes outside the far circle. Christopher with it back there. That puck on the far circle sent ahead in along the near boards. Chipped and held in by O'Neill, now knocked the other direction. Fired right back deep by O'Neill as that rims all the way around. Kresge picks it up outside the far circle. Kresge trying to avoid some pressure by Shepard. That sent in along the far boards, picked up by Monsma. Monsma coming down the far board, stopped by Walling. Right at the Pinckney blue line, that brought ahead by Meade in the neutral zone. Meade firing it, and then that sent deep. As the puck slips right back behind, Heath trying to pull that away, trying to cause problems. As picking it up, McDaniel goes the other direction. Here comes Pioneer with it on the near circle of their own zone. Again, Heath trying to make it hard for Pioneer to leave the zone. That puck back to the Pinckney blue line. Sent ahead by Layton, now pulled in. That grabbed along the far side by Heath and fired by Layton off the end boards. That comes outside the near circle, picking that up. A shot, that's by Polzinski right out in front. Battle with it in the slot. Back knocked off of the near boards. There's a shot from the top of the near circle. Now picking it up. Druss off the side of the net. That comes all the way outside the far circle. Held in, and now Pioneer gets it into the neutral zone. Heading the other direction. Jekyll feeds it. There's a shot. Ooh, that was, heard the tinkle of a pipe there as that puck comes in along the near boards. Fired. Here comes Pioneer setting up. Fitzgerald at his own blue line in along the near boards. Fitzgerald fires it in along the far boards. That was tipped by Meade, but comes back to Fitzgerald, top of the near circle. Fitzgerald with a shot. Blocker save by Lederer. That puck back behind. Over to Fitzgerald out in front. Oh, that sounded like another pipe as that puck into the slot, pulled away by Pinckney. Comes down into the neutral zone. Martin fires it over on the far side for Yang. Yang trying to get it over to Fitzgerald. That tipped away. Pinckney comes in. Pulling it is Wisner, and a save by Boyd. Oh, Wisner got it. Pinckney with numbers had a little 3-on-1 and got it over to Boyd on the near circle, got it over to Wisner on the near circle. Boyd with a fantastic save. 0-0 is our score. 10:55 left to go here in the first. Live from the Arctic Coliseum. Sullivan in to take the face-off for Pinckney as that puck on this near circle chipped in along the near boards. Evans puts it back into the near corner. Yang chips it, trying to get it over to Coattree in the near corner. He tries to send it ahead to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald trying to knock that away. Evans trying to put it out in front. Here comes Pioneer with it. Fitzgerald over center ice. Fitzgerald gains the zone, makes a move into the high slot. Shot, save by Lederer. Trying to hold it in was Churchill. Bouncing puck into the neutral zone. Grabbed by Chikachi. Chikachi, top of the far circle. Chikachi comes in. Shot. That's saved by Lederer. Deflected into the far corner. Brought all the way back in along the far boards of the neutral zone. Pinckney brings it ahead. Trying to knock that away. McDaniels gets it away from Sullivan. The puck in along the near boards. Here comes Pioneer. Coattree the other direction over center ice. Coattree gains the zone. Feeding it to Chikachi. Chikachi with a shot, and he scores! Chikachi from Coattree as it's a Pioneer goal. That at 10:02. And Pioneer is on the board first as Chikachi from Coattree. As Chikachi took a shot, and boy, it was a beautiful shot, just came in, and that puts Pioneer up. I need to fix that as well on the scoreboard. The puck in along the near boards, picked up by McDaniel. McDaniel has own blue line, sends it ahead, trying to pull it in. Caribbean, that knocked back to McDaniel, his own blue line. That puck over to McDaniel. McDaniel moves it ahead. That chipped by Caribbean, covered up by Lederer. I think they just said it was Kotri, but I swear Kotri fed Chikachi, so that's what I saw. But, the refs are in a better position than I am, so I'll give them that. Face off. Caribbean puts it in along the near boards, trying to pull that back to the near point. That banks off of the far boards. Picking it up, Kresge at his own blue line, fires it along. Here comes Whitelock, sending it back in along the M boards, trying to pick it up. O'Neill back behind. Now that comes onto the near circle, controlled. Here comes Pinckney with it. Mead coming in along the near boards. That was tipped away. Whitelock fires a knuckleball. That covered up by Lederer. He drops it just to his side, and Walling sends it ahead. Coming down the far boards, cross-ice pass for Pinckney. That picked up in the neutral zone. And to chip that away was Lucas Schaefer. Now Caribbean into the near corner, tries to pull that away. That puck comes right back behind Lederer. Now into the far corner. Pioneer sends it back to McDaniel with a shot. And McDaniel scores at 8:53. I don't know if it was tipped out in front, but McDaniel fired it over, and it slipped past. There was a little traffic for Lederer trying to find that one. That's tough. As the officials talk about, we'll get the official scoring, see if someone tipped it and redirected it out in front. But Monsman to take the face-off. Pioneer up 2-0 on Pinckney here in the first with 8:51 left to go. Pinckney corrals it. Layton comes over center ice. Layton, top of the near circle, stops, trying to center it out. There's a shot that knocked down. So Caribbean got the assist, and it was McDaniel on the goal as that puck in along the near boards of the Pinckney zone. They fire it into the neutral zone. Coming in, here comes Druss through the slot. Shot good. Bad save by Boyd into the near corner. Here comes Dixon. Dixon chips it to the blue line. Evans has to reset for Pinckney as he comes right back into the Pioneer zone. Another good save by Boyd. Liam Schaefer clears that in along the far boards. That puck held in by Pinckney at the far point. Now that deflects into the near corner. Here comes Pioneer trying to knock that away, trying to get it away from Heath. That puck outside the far circle, and here comes Pioneer setting things up, coming down the far boards. Chikachi had that tipped away. Here comes Pinckney with it, top of the near circle. That shot by Beckwith comes all the way to the far point, but held in there. Now it slips into the neutral zone, spinning with it. Here comes Shepard. Shepard had that poke checked away. Good move by Yang. But now there's a shot by Mead that comes in along the far boards. Again held in at the far point. Mead trying to grab it. Now Chikachi fires it. That comes in along the far boards of the neutral zone as Kotri is poked off the puck. Mead has it at his own blue line. Long cross-ice pass over to Shepard. Shepard goes the other direction trying to get it. Churchill trying to tip that away as Christopher has it into the far corner. Now Churchill backhands it along those far boards. That brought back. Here comes Pinckney as there's a one-timer by O'Neill. Couldn't quite get everything on it. That puck into the near corner. Now Shepard pulls it back, top of the near circle. Shepard tries to make a move, spins with it, fires it back deep as that puck goes back behind the Pioneer goal into the far corner. Churchill trying to knock that away. Battle for it, slips right back behind Boyd. Comes in along the near board. Shepard has it outside the near circle. Shepard trying to move it right back behind as that's brought back. Top of the far circle, Pinckney with it. Pinckney outside the far circle, that knocked down. Here comes Churchill. Churchill fires it all the way down the ice. That's going to be icing, but that'll get some tired legs off of the ice for Pioneers. They get a line change. 6:32 left to go here in the first period. It's Pioneer 2 and Pinckney nothing, live from the Arctic Coliseum. We appreciate you joining us. Caribbean in to take the face-off in the far face-off circle. That's to Boyd's left. Druss on the other side as that puck loose underneath the far circle. Now chipped in along the far boards. The puck out into the neutral zone. It's a foot race. Caribbean trying to get to it into the far corner of the Pinckney zone. Caribbean centering attempt. That goes all the way through the slot. Top of the far circle while Pinckney tries to pull that away. Deflected. Druss trying to send it over to Sullivan. That knocked the other way by Kresge. Banked off of the far boards. Now chasing it. Layton into the far corner. Layton comes back behind the goal. Comes to the far side. Now on the far circle. That tipped, but here comes Pinckney picking it up. Druss has it outside the far circle. Kresge trying to knock that away as the puck comes to the blue line, but not out. Druss fires it as it goes right back behind the Pioneer goal. Knocked in along the near boards, and that all the way back into the Pinckney zone. That will be icing and head back the other direction. 5:43 left to go here in the first period. 2-0. Pioneer the lead. 5:43. Face-off is going to be to Boyd's right in the near face-off circle. Shepard versus Monsma in the face-off circle, or was that, sorry, that was Coatry with it. I just saw the 9. That puck pulled all the way in along the far boards. No, it was Monsma. I'm not completely blind. The puck comes right back behind Lederer, trying to pick it up. Beckwith trying to go the other direction. The puck into the far corner. Outside the far circle, Pinckney trying to knock it out of the zone. Pioneer trying to hold it in, and now it slips all the way back into the Pioneer defensive zone. Liam Schaefer has it on the near circle. As Liam Schaefer cross-ice pass, that deflects off of the far boards, picked up, brought in by Shepard for Pinckney. Shepard drop pass, that knocked away. Excellent defensive play by Liam Schaefer, and here comes Pioneer with it. As coming down the far boards, that into the near corner, trying to tip that away as that puck rims all the way around. Back, trying to fire it off. That comes off of the side of the net. Monsma trying to pick it up into the near corner. Centering attempt, knocked down out in front. Dixon trying to get to it. That puck, bouncing puck. Pioneer able to hold it in. Dixon trying to feed it out in front. There's a shot and a score! Pioneer goes up 3-0. As we'll get the official, Dixon had it over there. Trying to see who might have gotten that goal. I think Dixon took the shot, but I want to be certain. So we'll have a face-off right at center ice. That puck in along the near boards, tipped away. The puck picked up. Here comes Coatry with it coming down the far boards. Coatry over center ice. Coatry comes into the zone. That puck tipped away. There's a cross-ice shot. That deflects back to the near point. Yang trying to hold it in.
Number 2, Bell Dixon. Assistant, Liam Schaefer and Jack Cicerelli.
So it sounds like that was Dixon on the goal. Liam Schaefer, then Shikachi got a piece of it. That comes back. But Dixon with the goal for Pioneer. As that puck in along. Here comes Pioneer with it. Shikachi pulls it in. Shikachi top of the near circle. That deflects back behind the goal. Fitzgerald with it. Fitzgerald trying to poke that away. The puck comes ahead. Here comes Shepard with it. Shepard has it knocked away. The puck in along the near boards, now lifted back. That deflected ahead by Coatry. Coatry gets it back. Coatry into the slot. That cleared away. Good defense. Shikachi with the shot. That deflects outside the far circle. Pinckney with it. Pinckney firing it ahead. That should be icing as it comes all the way back. And it is. 3-0 is the Pioneer lead. 3:20 left to go in the first. Sorry, forgive me. It is Davis in the net, not Boyd. I don't know why I said that. Thank you so much to his mom for saying that. Thank you so very much. I don't know why my mind went there. The puck into the near corner. It is absolutely Elliot Davis in net. That puck comes back, tipped around, coming back in along the near boards. Banked ahead, in along Liam Schaefer with it into the near corner. That tipped away. Trying to get it back. Lucas Schaefer. There's a shot. And a good save by And then saved by Davis came back, and then they were able to put it in. As Pinckney gets on the board, that at 2:48. We'll get exactly who it was. Forgive me, I think I jinxed Elliot Davis there. So, but he has been very, very solid between the pipes in every game, especially early in this game. The puck at center ice, that chipped. Coming back in along the near boards, that bounces up into the netting. As that puck in along the near boards, trying to chip it ahead. Fitzgerald. That grab by Druss. Centering attempt. Shepard on the goal.
Number 14, Jacob Lee. And number 16, Mason
Schmidt on the assist. Chikachi has it top of the far circle. That directed into the neutral zone. Churchill sends it in. That deflects back behind the goal. Into the near corner it comes. Pulling it. That fired ahead by Schmidt. Now sent ahead by Sullivan. Picked up. Here comes Evans with it. He's poked off of the puck, and going the other way is Coatry. Coatry gains his own. Coatry top of the near circle. Shot pad. Saved by Lederer. That comes back. The puck in along the far boards. Lifted in. Bouncing puck into the Pinckney zone. They corral it there. Start heading the other way is Beckwith. Beckwith trying to get into the Pioneer zone. Good play by Dixon to keep it out of the zone. Now it's lifted. Battle for it in along the near boards of the neutral zone as Dixon fires it that into the near corner. Monsma chasing it, trying to get to it before Jones does. Monsma and Jones into the far corner. There is a whistle. 1:35 left to go. The official calls a cross check, and there's a penalty. Into the box goes Beckwith. So that puck will stay down in the Pinckney zone. That will be to the right of Lederer. As it is Coatry in to take the face-off. Whitelock to his left, Fitzgerald to his right. Chikachi back behind them. I believe that is Caribbean playing the point. In along the far boards, Caribbean trying to hold that in. Outside the far circle, trying to set that up. Whitelock out in front. That slips through the crease in along the near boards. Chikachi puts it back into the near corner. Centering attempt. That knocked down and covered up by Lederer. Good opportunity for Pioneer. Even better save by Lederer. 1 minute, 19 seconds left to go, and it is Pioneer 3, Pinckney 1. Face-off in the near face-off circle. Caribbean takes the face-off as that's in along the near boards. Held in by Coatry, now poked all the way back as Davis steers that into the near corner. Fitzgerald comes back behind Davis, goes from the near side to the far side. Fitzgerald coming down the far boards. That's 1 minute, 28 seconds left to go in the power play for Pioneer. Less than a minute to go in the first. As that puck out in front comes back. Top of the far circle, Pioneer with it. Drop pass over to Chikachi. Chikachi feeding it over to Caribbean, top of the near circle. That underneath, trying to pick that up. Here comes Pinckney the other direction. They ricochet it off of the near boards. They clear it. Davis stops it in along the end boards. Now Chikachi picks it up back behind, trying to avoid Shepard. He comes back to the near side. Shepard trying to make it difficult for Pioneer to clear the zone. 30 seconds left to go here in the first. As Fitzgerald had it, that knocked away, pulled back by Chikachi. Chikachi drops it back for Coatry. Coatry moves it over to Fitzgerald on the near side. 18 seconds left to go in the first. As Fitzgerald dumps it back behind the goal into the far corner. Right back behind Lederer it goes. Centering attempt that knocked away. Fitzgerald has it outside the far circle. That off the side of the net. Battle for it into the slot. Pinckney gets it. Now there's another shot by Fitzgerald, and that is the end of the first. So Pioneer up 3-1 in the first. There is 25 seconds left to go on the Pioneer power play, first power play of the game. So they will start with an extra attacker. As the Pioneer team comes over, gives Elliot Davis some love for his solid work between the pipes. Pioneer with the 2-goal lead. Let's go back over it. It was Chikachi scoring first with Coatry setting him up. Then the next goal was Caribbean set up back to McDaniel. McDaniel, top of the near circle, fired it and scored for Pioneer. That made it 2-0. Then Dixon fired it in. He was set up by Liam Schaefer and Chikachi. That put up 3-0 for Pioneer. Then coming back was Pinckney. That at the 2:48 mark, as it was Shepard from Meade and Schmidt on the Pinckney goal. So Pioneer up 3-1 here at the first intermission. We will step away for a moment, give you a chance to listen to a few messages from the MHSAA, and then we will be back with second period action. You are watching Pioneer Men's Varsity Hockey, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting.
Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
If you're a recent high school or college graduate and still have a passion for the games you played in school, still remember the thrill of putting on the uniform? Why don't you help us out and become a registered high school game official? Get out there and give something back to our kids. Visit the MHSA website for more information. There's help wanted, just whistle. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Integrity, commitment, love of the game. These traits describe the people high school sporting events can't start without. The officials. They're out there every day giving back to our kids. Let's give them the respect they deserve. Better yet, why don't you become one? Visit the MHSAA website for more information. There's help wanted, just whistle. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
You're hearing it. The message is getting through to parents. Multi-sport athletes get injured less. Multi-sport athletes become better in their primary sport in the long run. And even though it's not why we play our games, multi-sport athletes are now getting recruited more than specialized athletes. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
You have to wonder sometimes how folks in the stands, so far removed from the action and who have probably never had any training, actually think they can see the play and apply the rules better than the officials assigned to a game. If you're that good, please register immediately at MHSAA.com. We need more officials on the playing surface and fewer in the stands. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Think of a high school game as a 4-lane highway. Coaches, players, officials, and spectators, each with their own lane. Sportsmanship depends on everyone not crossing over the line. Fans keep it between the lines when they cheer positively for their team. So don't cause an accident. Stay in your lane and let the coaches, players, and officials do their jobs. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. The Michigan Power Ratings will be used this year in soccer, basketball, and boys lacrosse to seed the district tournament in those sports, and you can follow along. Visit your school's page on the MHSAA website to see how your team is faring, and you can look at statewide lists as well. And if you see your team is missing a score, submit it. Learn more about the Michigan Power Rankings at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Maybe you've seen the videos of the specialized sports parent support group, or the kid holding a press conference to announce his retirement from sports. The problem is, they'd be really funny if there wasn't a lot of truth there. Multi-sport participation provides a healthier experience and lifestyle for kids and families. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Sportsmanship is still relevant in school sports. Good sportsmanship should be a given at our games. It's one of the primary reasons we have school sports to begin with, to help today's young people become tomorrow's community leaders. You can learn more about sportsmanship and download a full kit of sportsmanship ideas from the MHSAA website at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
As we are live from the Arctic Coliseum here, as it is Pioneer up 3-1 on Pinckney. Let's take a look at the Metro League standings over on the west side of the Metro where we are at. Father Gabriel Richard has the top number of points, 20 points. Number one in the west, they have 12 games played, 10 wins, 2 losses. And then Pioneer is 17 points, so 3 points behind them, 11 games played, 8 wins, 2 losses, and 1 tie. And then Riverview has 14 points, that on 9 games played, 7 wins, 2 losses. Grosse Ile has 9 points, 7 games played on 4 wins, 2 losses, 1 tie. Divine Child has 2 points, 6 games played, 1 win, 5 losses. And Cabrini has no points, 4 games played, 0-4 on the season. Over on the Metro East side of it, it's Detroit Country Day tied up with University Liggett They both have 17 points. Detroit Country Day 8-1-1. Liggett 8-4-1. Gabriel Richard of Riverview has 9 points on a 4-3-1 record. Wyandotte Roosevelt, who Pioneer played, has 8 points. That on a 4-8-0 record. Allen Park has 6 points, 3 wins, 8 losses, and Woodhaven has 4 points on 2 wins and 8 losses. If we flip over and take a look at the Southeastern Conference, as Pioneer is ready to hit the ice over in the Red Division, Skyline has 12 points. That on 8 games played, 6 wins, 2 losses. 8 points is Saline. They have 12 games played, 4 wins, 8 losses. Temperance Bedford has 7 points. That on 9 games played, 3 wins, 5 losses. Pioneer, they don't have anything listed, so it's always tough which games are Metro, which games are SEC, and I don't think that always gets properly into the SEC. So I'll see if I can, during the second intermission, there's a really wonderful SEC standing site, so I'll pull that up. Huron, no points, 9 games played, 0-9 on the season. On the other side, Chelsea is tops on the White Division. They have 21 points on 10 wins and 1 tie, no losses. Pinckney has 13 points. They 6-2-1 we talked about. Dexter has 8 points. They're 4-7, 4 wins, 7 losses. Jackson has 6 points, 3 wins, 3 losses. And Lenawee has 2 points, 1 win, 9 losses. So that's just a look at the conferences during our second intermission. We'll talk about games that happened yesterday. We'll do an intermission scoreboard report. Although let's see if we can do see if I can update that, because we don't have, because I'm trying to lose my iPad underneath the seat here. We don't have the Pirates out of their locker room yet, as there's a whistle. But if we flip back, there were 42 games on Friday, 65 games yesterday, so just a lot of action. A couple of the scores from yesterday was Granville beating Grand Rapids Catholic Central 5-0. Father Gabriel Richard blanked Huron 8-0. It was Lowell Caledonia with a 1-goal win, 2-1 over Forest Hill Central. Calumet beat Houghton 3-1. It was Utica Ford Unified beating Chippewa Valley 9-3. Brighton with a 1-goal win, 3-2 over Howell. It was Granville beating West Ottawa 3-1. Cadillac tripled up Matawan 6-2. It was Grand Haven beating the Tri-Valley Titans 5-2. As everyone getting set, Davis down towards the right again. Please forgive me, Elliot's mother. Davis to the right, and we are getting ready to go. Lederer on the left-hand side. As it is Pioneer 3 and Pinckney 1, as we are getting ready for second period action. Your goal scorers for Pioneer: Shikachi, McDaniel, and Davis, and then Shepard on the other side. So here we go. Drussin taking the face-off for Pinckney. That comes in along the near boards. Rocketed the other direction by Jones, but held in by Shikachi. Now picked up and lifted all the way back into the near corner. Liam Schaefer checked hard against the boards, but putting it right back behind. Coatry trying to pick it up off of the end boards back behind Lederer. Now comes into the far corner. Coatry underneath the far circle, gets it right through the slot. That deflects, goes all the way down. Icing waved off, stopped by Davis. Picked up into the near corner. Trying to pull that away was Martin. Now Liam Schaefer trying to grab it. That slips through the slot, tipped in along the near boards. Here comes Pioneer through the neutral zone. Shikachi has it, trying to get around Layton. That wouldn't work, as that's tipped back into the neutral zone. As here comes Shepard into the Pioneer zone. Top of the near circle. Drop pass for Evans. Evans with a shot. As good job, Davis getting a piece of it. That puck back behind. Loose on the near circle. Here comes Pioneers. They feed it through the neutral zone. Fitzgerald had it. That tipped away as Pinckney has it back in the slot on their own near side. Walling feeds it ahead to Layton. Layton has that poke checked away, but coming the other direction is Shepard, who sends it deep into the far corner for inside the Pioneer zone. Yang trying to knock that away. The puck on that far circle, picked back up, top of the far circle for Meade. Meade sending it outside that far circle. Yang trying to knock that away. That puck into neutral zone, then fired right back in by Pinckney. Picked up. Goes back behind Davis. Comes in along the near boards. Cross-ice pass. That tipped. Back to the far point. Now Fitzgerald gets it going. That knocked back in. Here comes Coutry pulling it into the near corner of the Pinckney zone. Chikachi has it there. He's coming along the end line. That knocked away by Shepard. Shepard underneath the near circle. Davis trying to knock that away is Dixon. That comes all the way in along the near boards. Stopped outside the near circle. That chipped up and into the netting. 14:59 left to go here in the second period. It is Pioneer 3, the Pinckney Pirates 1. Face-off is going to be to Davis's left in the near face-off circle. As Drussin to take the face-off. That puck top of the near circle. Shot and a good save by Davis. Got a glove on it, throws it, will drop it again. That'll be again to his left in this near face-off circle. As that's brought into the near corner, trying to get it Kresge. Monsma chasing it, trying to pull it outside the near circle. Here comes Pioneer through the neutral zone. That puck skitters just to the far side of Lederer, and that will be icing and come right back into the Pioneer zone. They're going to put it to the left of Davis in that near face-off circle. Monsma in to take the face-off. Kresge to his left. Druss on the other side for Pinckney. That puck into the near corner. Kresge trying to pull that away. As the puck, high slot, shot, knocked away. Good blocker save by Davis, and that covered up. Pinckney with a little pressure here early in the second. Pioneer with the 3-1 lead. 14:33 left to go here in the second period. Face-off is going to be to Davis's right in that far face-off circle. Shepard in to take the face-off versus Monsma. Two number 19s battling in the face-off circle. Comes in along the far boards. That rimmed all the way around. Dixon outside the near circle. There's a shot from the near point. Covered up now, coming back behind. Wilkins had it. There's a whistle. Davis did a fantastic job to keep it out of the net, and the net came off of its moorings, which caused the whistle. 14:21 left to go. Face-off will again be to Davis's left in that near face-off circle. Meade in to take the face-off. That puck pulled away by Martin. Martin sends it all the way around the boards. Now Lucas Schaefer trying to knock that away. Liam Schaefer trying to pull it off of the far boards. That shot from the far point picked up underneath the near circle. Now moved ahead. Whitelock chips it into the neutral zone. Here comes Pioneer. Caribbean with it. Caribbean had it poked away, but goes back and gets it at the far point, trying to chip it back. Jones has it. Jones feeds it over to Meade. Meade coming down the far boards. Meade top of the far circle. Meade in along the end boards. Now comes in outside the near circle. Meade trying to put it back to the blue line. That knocked down, and Lucas Schaefer got a piece of it. Delayed offsides called. That moved over. Pioneer lifting it through the neutral zone. That will end up being a shot on goal. Lederer stops it. Now Jones picks it up back behind his own goal. 13:32 left to go here in the second. It's Pioneer 3 and Pinckney 1. Battle for it in the near corner of the Pinckney zone. Trying to peel that away. Chikachi with it as he's trying to poke it away from Shepard. Now Chikachi outside the near circle gets it back to the near point. That fed back deep by Yang as it slips right back behind Lederer into the far corner. Lucas Schaefer trying to grab it there. Now Pinckney tries to get it going the other direction. Coutry trying to move it back to Chikachi. That held in by Yang at the near point. Trying to feed it over to Coutry. That deflects off of the end boards. Jones has it the other side. Wouldn't settle down. Now he fires it all the way back. The puck, cross-ice pass over to Yang and along the near boards of the neutral zone. Battle for it, trying to feed it ahead. Here comes Coutry. Coutry gains the zone. Coutry outside the near circle. Drop pass over to Chikachi with that shot. Oh, good save by Lederer, then cleared out of harm's way. Excellent job by Evans. Evans comes through the neutral zone, feeds it ahead. Over on the far side is Sullivan. As Davis got a piece of it, the puck in along the near boards. Pioneer gets it back into the neutral zone. That picked up by Chikachi. Chikachi with a shot, and he scores! Chikachi got it, and I thought that Lederer had a piece of it, and then it just got back behind him. So Letter had a good position on it and managed to knock it in. Pioneer up 4-1. We'll see what sort of assists go there. Well, Pioneer increasing their lead to 3 here in the second period. Shepard in to take the face-off for Pinckney. As Wilkins picks it up right at center ice. Wilkins coming down the far boards. He knocks it back on edge in along the M boards, trying to pick that up. Battle for it underneath. Now outside the near circle, stopping. Wilkins feeds it back to Monsma. That tipped away and along. Here comes Pinckney as Layton. Cross ice pass, that over to Mead and along the far boards. Mead gains the Pioneer zone. Mead outside the far circle. Chikachi with the goal. Churchill on the assist for Pioneer as that puck and along the far boards brought in by Pinckney. Mead has it outside the far circle. That chip back into the neutral zone. Here comes Pioneer coming down the far boards. Monsma lifts it. Rolling puck, saucering. That moved over to Layton along the near boards. Layton trying to get it out in front as it's held in by Whitelock. Whitelock feeds it ahead. Now there's a cross-ice pass, and boy, what a save as Dixon tried to set it up for a streaking Monsma. Somehow Lederer got a piece of it. That lifted all the way back into the Pioneer zone. Ahead to Whitelock. Whitelock takes it, top of the near circle. Whitelock drops it into the slot and a shot. Oh, how that didn't go into the near corner. In along, Pioneer trying to peel that away is Lucas Schaefer. Lucas Schaefer sends it back into the far corner, trying to peel it out in front. That puck loose, held in at the far point, now fired back. Lucas Schaefer in the far corner, now outside the far circle. That poked away from him, trying to pick that up. Whitelock tried to grab it, now that comes back into the near corner. Pinckney trying to pull it away. Jones feeds it ahead to Cochran. Cochran in the near corner, back to Jones. Jones lifts it all the way down the ice. That a shot on goal. Davis has to save it, kicks it over. That pulled the other direction. Martin sends it ahead as Caribbean has it at his own blue line. Caribbean trying to avoid some pressure by Pinckney, puts it in along the far boards. That chipped ahead. Fitzgerald had it. Now it's lifted back. Pinckney corrals it, top of the far circle of their own zone. They send it ahead. Evans had it. Now Pioneer starts the rush the other way, coming down the near boards of the neutral zone. Here comes Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald goes back behind the goal, trying to put it out into the slot. That poked away. Beckwith had it. Now Chikachi outside the far circle. That knocked down, pulled out, top of the far circle. Pioneer drop pass into the far point. That lifted as Chikachi into the far corner. Now Fitzgerald trying to set it up. That comes back to the blue line. Chipped out ahead, chasing it. Liam Schaefer trying to grab that. That pulled back. Evans, top of the far circle. That steered away into the near corner. Druss trying to get it out in front. Comes back to the far point. O'Neill with the shot. And, Davis didn't even see it. He had a whole bunch of people in front of him. So Pinckney gets on the board. Davis was screened. We'll see if anyone touched that, but O'Neill with the shot from the far point. And it is Pioneer 4 and Pinckney 2. Face off right at center ice. Truss in to take the face off for Pinckney. That puck in the neutral zone now, pulled in. Here comes Coattree. Coattree trying to make a move. That poked away. The puck back into the neutral zone. Grab. As Druss on the assist. O'Neill on the goal. 2-goal lead for Pioneer. There's a shot on a save by Davis. The puck deflects outside the far circle. Drop pass over to Druss. Centering attempt, that knocked down, and we have a whistle stoppage in play. As it's going to be a Pioneer penalty. Yang goes into the box. As it's a tripping call to Yang at 9:03. So Pioneer will be on the penalty kill for the first time today. Second penalty call. Pioneer had the first one right at the end of the second period. So 9:03 left to go here in the second. Pioneer 4 and Pinckney 2. That puck outside the far circle. Into the far corner, trying to pull it ahead. That top of the far circle, working with it, Mead. Mead sends it in along the end boards. As there's another penalty coming, as Christopher had it in along the far boards, and he was just a little too far away from the boards when he was checked. So Pioneer will be shorthanded by 2 players as Liam Schaefer goes into the box. So 1 minute, 42 seconds of a 2-player advantage for the Pinckney Pirates, as that faceoff's going to be to Davis's right in the far faceoff circle. I haven't put it up there, but then there'll be, and that's a 5-minute major. So Pioneer is going to be shorthanded for a while as the puck outside the far circle, trying to put it ahead back into the far corner. Pinckney gets it over to Mead. Mead moves it back, top of the far circle for Layton. As tripping from behind is the call. The puck on the far circle, that deflects back to the blue line. Sent in along the near boards as Shepard has it. Shepard, there's a one-timer. Davis got a piece of his. That puck back into the far corner. 5-on-3 currently for Pinckney. Pioneer able to clear it. 1 minute, 8 seconds left to go in the original penalty. It's a 5-minute major on the second penalty, so Pioneer is going to be shorthanded for 1 minute, 15 seconds, but they need to kill off the 5-on-3 here. As that puck brought in by Pinckney, dropped back to the far point, trying to put it back deep as Layton. That pulled up, high slot, knocked away from Mead as it comes in along the near circle, or the near boards of the neutral zone. Layton spins the other direction. Layton coming ahead, 39 seconds left to go in the initial penalty. As Druss has it, that lifted all the way back into the neutral zone. Pinckney will have to reset as Shepard comes back to his own blue line. Feeds it over in along the near boards for Beckwith. Beckwith trying to send it ahead for Mead. Back to Beckwith, and that is offsides. 22 seconds left to go in the initial penalty. So 22 more seconds of 5-on-3 hockey. Pioneer 2 players down. They will have, Pinckney will have a 3-minute, 18-second power play, single player advantage power play after this on the major penalty called against Pioneer. That is a non-releasable penalty. That puck in along the near boards, lifted all the way back, cleared. That'll take the initial penalty down to 15 seconds as O'Neill, the last goal scorer for Pinckney, banks it off the near boards. That picked up by Druss. Druss comes in, top of the near circle. Druss goes into the near corner with it, pulling it back behind Davis. That on the far circle, trying to lift it back to O'Neill at the far point. That dropped back. Yang out of the box as now it's a single player advantage. Back behind, McDaniel trying to move it over. Yang trying to chip that away. Druss back behind, trying to peel it and get it out in front. Whitelock trying to knock it away in along the far boards. Whitelock pokes that away, pins it against the far boards. That lifted all the way back to O'Neill at the far point as McDaniel trying to knock it away. There's a shot by Evans. That deflects all the way out. 2 minutes, 45 seconds left to go in the major penalty called against Pioneer as Walling gets it over to Shepard. Shepard, top of the far circle of his own zone. Backhands it in along the near boards for Walling. That knocked away by Fitzgerald. Picked up his own blue line. Fired deep by Pioneer. That ricochets off of the M boards. Pioneer getting a line change in. 2 minutes, 27 seconds in the major penalty to Pioneer. O'Neill brings it into the near corner of the Pioneer zone. Couttree knocking him off the puck. Comes into the far corner, trying to get it away from Shepard there. Mead comes in, but Yang trying to knock that away. Now Dixon tries to poke check it. That held in by Layton at the far point. The puck, bouncing puck on the far circle, grabbed and lifted all the way down the ice. 2 minutes left to go here in the major penalty. Pioneer with the lead, 4-2, but Pinckney with the player advantage. The puck in along the near boards. Monsma goes hard into the boards, but pops right up. That puck moves back behind Davis into the far corner. Outside the far circle, that grab. Pinckney has it poked away, but corrals it. Coming in, high slot, as that is Shepard. Shepard has it poked away, and that cleared all the way down the ice. Lederer stops it on the near side of his own zone. Monsma trying to get to it. Monsma lost an edge, went feet first into the boards hard, but he pops right back up. Layton fires it, that into the far point, lifted around. Druss goes right back behind Davis, bottom of the far circle. Now Druss through the high slot, top of the far circle, sending it over to the far circle. That deflected out in front. Great defensive play by Pioneer as they clear it back. That was Coatry who fired it all the way down. 1 minute, 5 seconds left to go in the major penalty to Pioneer. 4:47 left to go here in the second period. Pioneer with the 2-goal lead, but Layton brings it ahead. Long cross-size pass over to Druss. Druss gains the zone, top of the far circle. Druss trying to get in. That shot knocked and comes all the way back to the far point. Fitzgerald trying to grab that. That brought outside the far circle, pulling it back. That fed over to Walling. Walling with the shot. Saved by Davis. Oh, Elliot Davis saved it. Rebound started to pop away, and he dove on it wisely. Fantastic play. 39 seconds left to go in the major penalty to Pioneer. Pioneer up 4-2 here in the second. 4:24 left to go in the second. Pioneer trying to desperately kill off the penalty. It was a long 1 minute 45 second 5-on-3. Pioneer able to kill that off, but they have the remainders of the 5-minute major. That lifted in along the near boards, trying to chase it. That slips back. That will be... And they blow it icing, but they're still on the penalty kill. That is not icing. So they'll end up talking that over, and they'll probably redrop it inside of the Pinckney zone. Now, it's not easy being an official. They're doing a lot of things out there. So Shepard to take the face-off versus Shikachi. That comes in along the near boards, pulled away. Shikachi with it outside the near circle, comes into the near corner. 23 seconds left to go in the Pioneer penalty kill. That lifted back behind, trying to grab it Walling. Now pulled back, spinning with it Shikachi. He sends it back into the neutral zone. McDaniel has it at his own blue line, sends it over in along the near boards. Now that rifled all the way back down and knocked away. Here comes a shot that just goes wide, just to Davis's left, into the near corner. That pulled back into the far corner. Christopher has it, and the major penalty is killed off. Pinckney still has it outside the far circle. There's a shot. Comes back, pulled away. Here comes Pioneer. They feed it into the near boards of the neutral zone. Headed the other direction. Beautiful move by Coatry. Coatry goes back behind Lederer from the near side to the far side. That lifted into the blue line. Backhanded ahead for Liam Schaefer. That puck in the slot. Moved over to Coatry. Coatry trying to get it out in front. That cleared away by Pinckney. Back to the near point. Shot from there. Bouncing puck into the slot. That moved into the near corner. Chikachi grabbing it. Now Jones has it underneath the far circle. Jones has that poke, but Pinckney able to get it ahead over to Shepard. Shepard top of the near circle. Shepard has it over to Mead. Mead outside the near circle of the Pioneer zone. Pioneer pulls it. Here comes Shikachi over center ice. Shikachi gains the zone, top of the near circle. Shikachi into the near corner with it, feeding it out into the slot. That pulled away. Evans had it, knocked away by Caribbean, but Evans gets it into the neutral zone, heads down the near boards, slides that over to Druss. That poked away the puck right at the Pioneer blue line, deflected into the neutral zone. It slides back into Pinckney zone. Here's Caribbean with a shot. Oh, blocker save. That goes top of the goal until it comes back. The puck on the far circle. Lucas Schaefer has it. Lucas Schaefer, his shot went off of a skate, picked it up underneath the near circle. Now spinning with it, Lucas Schaefer gets it to Whitelock back behind. Whitelock trying to feed it ahead. That tipped away. Caribbean into the far corner with it. Caribbean trying to get it back to Whitelock. That up and out of play. 2 minutes, 8 seconds left to go here in the second period. Huge penalty kill by Pioneer. They killed off about 1 minute 45 seconds worth of a 5-on-3 and then killed off the remainder of a major penalty. Now getting a brief breather because, of course, that probably took a lot of energy to make that happen, as on the far side, Heath taking that face-off versus Caribbean. That moved over to Kresge. Kresge's shot just went wide, picked up back behind. Here comes Layton with it. Layton fires it in along the far boards. Now that pulled ahead by Pinckney. Poked away in the neutral zone. Whitelock grabs it. Now Lucas Schaefer pulls it back into the zone, trying to feed it ahead to Whitelock. Pioneer ridden off the puck. That in along the near boards and lifted back. Pioneer feeding it as that put in by Whitelock. Now Lucas Schaefer trying to pull it away. The puck into the far corner. Wisner sends that to the blue line, but not out. That fired right back in. The Pioneer bench screaming about something. That deflects into the far corner. Lucas Schaefer, his centering attempt went off of his skate, and that pulled all the way back. That will be icing. 1 minute, 22 seconds left to go as Pioneer up 4-2. There was some play hit along the far boards that the Pioneer bench took exception to. Face-off will be in the far face-off circle that the letters left. Sullivan in to take the face-off as Monsma wins it back over to Yang. Yang puts it into the slot. That pulled away. Sullivan sends it ahead. Knocked by Yang. Now the puck loose. Picked up. That fight fed ahead. Here comes Pioneer with it. Monsma has it deflected away. Pioneer has to touch back up as that puck goes back to their blue line. Yang in along the near boards. Gets it to Monsma. Monsma backhands it, but that grab by Walling, who feeds it ahead over to Druss. Druss cuts through. Top of the near circle, the Pioneer zone. Shot. Davis got a piece of it as that puck comes all the way back into the far point. Liam Schaefer trying to knock it away. Now chasing it. That will be icing and head back the other direction. 47.1 seconds left to go here in the second. Pioneer 4. And Pinckney 2, face-off in the far face-off circle. That is to Davis's right. Coatry out there, Fitzgerald out there, Chikachi out there. Trying to catch the blue liners. And I just, on these jerseys, there's no numbers on the sleeve. They look awesome, but I just can't see them when they're not facing me as that puck comes back. Liam Schaefer chasing it, Yang. Liam Schaefer and Yang are the defenders. Liam Schaefer takes it back behind Davis, knocks it ahead. Now Chikachi puts a puck skittering on edge, but he was just the other side of center ice, so that will be icing. And head back into the Pioneer zone. 31.4 seconds left to go. Face-off is going to be to Davis's left in the near face-off circle. Pioneer flipping players. Caribbean in to take the face-off versus Druss. As that puck loose on the far circle, bouncing into the slot. Here comes Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald, top of the far circle. Fitzgerald trying to move it over to Chikachi. As Lederer got a piece of it. Unbelievable save by Lederer. So I didn't think there was any way he could get that beautiful, beautiful feed by Fitzgerald over to Chikachi. And Lederer just swallowed that one up between the pads. Fantastic save by the Pinckney Pirate netminder. Face-off in the far face-off circle. As Caribbean takes the face-off, comes top of the far circle, wouldn't settle down, heading the other direction with it. In along the near boards is Pinckney, 12 seconds left to go. The puck in along the far boards, Beckwith tried to get it, that brought in by Fitzgerald, 5 seconds left to go. Jones has it back behind. Heavy check by Fitzgerald, the puck loose, and that is the end of this second period. So at the end of two, Pioneer with the 4-2 lead. As Pioneer scored first in the second, it was Chikachi from Churchill setting it up. And then Pinckney came back with a goal. That was O'Neill from the far point as Elliot Davis was screened in that one. He couldn't even see it coming. He had good position, but then that was set up by Druss. So 4-2 is the lead. There's some crazy basketball game that people are watching out there, as that's a tight one. I won't bug you about that. But if we take a look over at 2-point game on the basketball, but if we take a look at some of the scores that happened yesterday, let's hop into our intermission scoreboard report. Not everything has been reported, but let's see what we can do for yesterday. So nothing reported in the Salem-Howell game, but it was Canton really putting it to Birmingham Unified 11-4. It was Riverview beating Divine Child by 2 goals, 3-1. Heartland shut out Livonia Franklin 8-0. It was Petoskey doubling up Matawan 4-2. Mona Shores with a 5-goal win over Midland 7-2. It was Anchor Bay beating the ETA Legion 5-1. St. Clair Shores with a one-goal win over University Liggett 4-3. It was Byron Center beating West Ottawa 9-1. Wyandotte Roosevelt shut out Woodhaven 2-0. It was Escanaba beating Nagini. That was 8-2. Hudsonville beat Jensen 6-1. It was Landskreis Unified shutting out Walled Lake Western 8-0. Port Huron Northern with the one-goal win over Macomb, Dakota 6-5. East Kentwood beat Northview 8-5. It was Gibraltar Carlson beating Monroe St. Mary's Catholic Central 5-2. Lowell Caledonia beat Oxford Avondale 4-1. It was Sault Ste. Marie 4 and Alpena 1. East Grand Rapids shut out Forest Hills Northeastern 1-0. Midland Dow with the 3-goal win over Lake Orion 5-2. It was Chelsea beating Dexter, that right here yesterday, 5-1. The ETA Legion beat Anchor Bay 5-2. It was Houghton beating Hancock Bulldogs 3-1. Port Huron beat Utica Ford Unified 7-5. It was FNV Griffins beating Grand Haven 8-2. Fenton Linden beats Swartz Creek Sile Flushing 12-0. It was Rochester United 4 and M1 United 1 as the Zamboni comes out. For the resurfacing, Detroit Country Day shut out Utica Eisenhower 6-0. It was the Kalamazoo Eagles beating Sheboygan 5-3. University of Detroit Jesuit beat Saline 3-1. It was Father Gabriel Richard doubling up Allen Park 2-1. Orchard Lake St. Mary's beat Trenton 3-1. It was Bishop Foley United 9, Southgate Anderson 1. Nothing in the Livonia Stevenson game. Notre Dame Prep beat West Bloomfield by a goal. Other way around. West Bloomfield 2-goal win by Notre Dame Prep 8-6. It was Howell beating Livonia Churchill 3-1. White Lake Lakeland beat Clarkston 7-4. It was Calumet with the 2-goal win over Marquette 5-3. Petoskey fell to Traverse City Central 7-2. It was Temperance Bedford shutting out Huron 7-0. Bay Reps, who we get to see next Saturday at the USA Hockey Arena at 10 a.m. Bay Reps beat Big Rapids 7-1. It was Escanaba with a 1-goal win over Nagini 4-3. Southline Unified tripled up Troy United 6-2. It was Lowell Caledonia shutting out Walled Western 6-0. Flint Powers shut out Bay City 9-0. It was Pinckney beating Skyline. We talked about that one 3-2. Big win for them. It was Walled Lake Central Waterford United beating Eastside 9-4. Canton shut out Livonia Franklin 8-0. It was Grand Rapids Catholic Central shutting out Forest Hills Central 4-0. Detroit Catholic Central shut out Rockford 5-0. Romeo with a 1-goal win over St. Clair Shores Unified 5-4. Grosse-Ile beat Cabrini 9-2. It was Birmingham Unified 4, Bloomfield Hills 3, Hudsonville 6, and Portage Muskies 5. Byron Center beat West Ottawa 8-1. Oxford Avondale beat Walled Lake Northern 5-1. It was a 2-2 tie between Forest Hills Northeastern and Grand Rapids Central, and Okemos fell to Mid-Michigan 4-7. And that was your intermission scoreboard report. We'll step away, play a few messages from the MHSAA as they are resurfacing the ice. We thank you so much. Let me flip the period over to 3 while I'm thinking about it. We really appreciate you cheering for this team wherever you are at. Thank you so very, very much. We're getting ready for the third period here. You are watching Pioneer Men's Hockey, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting.
Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
If you're a recent high school or college graduate and still have a passion for the games you played in school, still remember the thrill of putting on the uniform, why don't you help us out and become a registered high school game official? Get out there and give something back to our kids. Visit the MHSA website for more information. There's help wanted, just whistle. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Integrity, commitment, love of the game. These traits describe the people high school sporting events can't start without. The officials. They're out there every day giving back to our kids. Let's give them the respect they deserve. Better yet, why don't you become one? Visit the MHSAA website for more information. There's help wanted. Just whistle. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
You're hearing it. The message is getting through to parents. Multi-sport athletes get injured less. Multi-sport athletes become better in their primary sport in the long run. And even though it's not why we play our games, multi-sport athletes are now getting recruited more than specialized athletes. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
You have to wonder sometimes how folks in the stands, so far removed from the action and who have probably never had any training, actually think they can see the play and apply the rules better than the officials assigned to a game. If you're that good, please register immediately at MHSAA.com. We need more officials on the playing surface and fewer in the stands. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Think of a high school game as a 4-lane highway. Coaches, players, officials, and spectators, each with their own lane. Sportsmanship depends on everyone not crossing over the line. Fans keep it between the lines when they cheer positively for their team. So don't cause an accident. Stay in your lane and let the coaches, players, and officials do their jobs. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. The Michigan Power Ratings will be used this year in soccer, basketball, and boys lacrosse to seed the district tournament in those sports, and you can follow along. Visit your school's page on the MHSAA website to see how your team is faring, and you can look at statewide lists as well. And if you see your team is missing a score, submit it. Learn more about the Michigan Power Rankings at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Maybe you've seen the videos of the specialized sports parent support group, or the kid holding a press conference to announce his retirement from sports. The problem is, they'd be really funny if there wasn't a lot of truth there. Multi-sport participation provides a healthier experience and lifestyle for kids and families. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Taking a look, speaking of the MHSAA, if you go out and you go to the MHSAA and take a look at ice hockey, you can see Pioneer is in ice hockey region 16, so regional 16. The region first round is on March 16th. Again, Skyline, the number 1 seed in that region. Pioneer, the number 2 seed. So they both got a bye. Skyline is set to play the winner. So on the 16th, Saline plays Brownstown Woodhaven. That is a 5 p.m. game at the Kennedy Ice Arena. The winner of Saline Brownstown Woodhaven plays Skyline on March 18th. That is a 5 p.m. game, Skyline versus the winner of Brownstown Woodhaven. 7. On the 16th, it's Trenton versus New Boston Huron. Trenton 6-7, New Boston Huron 1-8. So you kind of assume Trenton might come out of that one. That would be a 7:30 p.m. game on the 16th. So depending on how many people are allowed, what's going on out there, if we are allowed to go to the game if you don't have an athlete in it, that'd be an interesting one to do a little scouting for the opponent. But they play at 7:30 on the 16th. The winner between Trenton, New Boston, Huron will play Ann Arbor Pioneer. That on the 18th. That is at 7:30 at the Kennedy Ice Arena. I believe that should be in the when you come in the far rink. Typically, when we play Riverview, Grosse Ile, and everything, we're in the new rink. There is, last time I went out to Kennedy to check signals and stuff out there, they do have one of those screening where you have to scan the little QR code and fill that out as you come in. So just to keep that in mind as you come out on the 18th, is you'll have to scan that little QR code and fill in a little COVID screening. At least that's the way it was last time I was there. So keep that in mind. Make sure your QR reader works and everything of that nature. But that's what's up on the brackets for the hockey tournament. Division 2 is what we're in. Division 2, Region 16, that's hosted by Trenton. The next game schedule for Pioneer is going to be on Wednesday. That will be a 3:30 game versus Skyline. I'm hoping that we can have our wonderful, amazing student broadcasters help us out, or maybe Jeff Cass, because I am my day job at 5:30 or at 3:30. I can't get out of it, but that's going to be a big game there. And then after that, they will be at. It'll be a doubleheader Saturday. So one game Wednesday, 3:30, then doubleheader Saturday, 10 o'clock is going to be at the USA Hockey Arena. And then later that day, it will be at the that'll be versus Temperance Bedford at the Team Toledo Ice House. And my understanding there is no limit at the Ice House to how many people can go. So last regular season game there that is a 6 p.m. game at the Toledo Ice House. So I still have to figure out exactly what games we're covering that day. Love to be at the USA Arena, and we will do our best to be at the Team Toledo Ice House. I'm just not sure as far as getting from. There's a couple basketball games we try and cover that day as well. Anyway, Pioneer is up 4-2 here in the third. The puck in along the far boards, trying to tip that away. Comes back into the Pioneer zone, top of the far circle. Shot at outside the near circle as Meade trying to grab that. Fitzgerald knocks it right back behind Davis. Picking it up is Martin. Martin over to Fitzgerald outside the near circle. That chipped out ahead as Coattree chases it outside the circle in the Pinckney zone. Coattree trying to feed it out in front. That deflects back behind. Chikachi has it in the near corner. That back to the near point, trying to hold it in is Martin. That lifted by Pinckney and out into the neutral zone. Here comes Meade, ricocheting it back behind Davis into the far corner. Liam Schaefer trying to knock it around those boards as Coattree brings it back over to Fitzgerald into the near corner. That right back, Liam Schaefer has it in along the far boards of his own zone, chipped away from him by Sullivan. Liam Schaefer battling a pair of Pinckney Pirates. That puck knocked away, trying to fire it out. That cleared out of harm's way by Liam Schaefer and held in at the far point. Trying to knock it away is Martin, that outside the far circle. Put right back by Christopher into the near corner. That lifted along the near boards. Pioneer trying to get it out. They lift it, and it's out into neutral zone, but fired right back in along the far boards. Coattree has it, fires it along the far boards. That held in at the far point. Davis with the save. The puck along the near circle. That knocked by Fitzgerald. He comes underneath the far circle. And now Fitzgerald gets it out of his own zone, fires it over. Coattree, top of the near circle. Coattree at the shot. Saved by Lederer as that puck picked up at the blue line, moved over. One-timer by Fitzgerald. Another save by Lederer. And that's lifted all the way down. That will be icing and head back into the Pinckney zone. 4-2 is the Pioneer lead. 15:09 left to go here in the third period. Face-off in the near face-off circle. That is to Letterer's left. As that puck into the near corner, trying to pull it out of the zone is Pinckney. They get it into the neutral zone, trying to chip it the other direction is Wilkins. Now Coattree trying to pull that away as the puck still loose along the near boards of the neutral zone. Layton had it for a moment. Now that lifted by Monsma before he's put heavily into the boards. He pops up. He's all right. The puck back behind Letterer into the far corner. Now lifted ahead, bouncing puck into the neutral zone. Monsma trying to knock it right back in. Monsma outside the far circle. Monsma into the far corner of the Pinckney zone. Centering attempt. Oh, Dixon was right on the doorstep, but the puck wouldn't settle down. Comes to Churchill, who takes a shot. That deflects into the near corner. Monsma trying to chip it over. Loose puck outside the far circle and along the near boards. Held in by Churchill as he rims that all the way around the boards from the near side to the far side. Picked up, Druss trying to chip that away, and here comes a penalty as Monsma ended up on the ground, on the ice. I believe it's going to be a tripping call, but we'll verify that. But Pioneer looks to go on the power play. As Schmidt goes into the box, hooking is the call. Hooking called to Schmidt. Pioneer on the power play for the next 2 minutes. 14:11 left to go here in the third. Pioneer with the 4-2 lead. As Coattree in to take the face-off. That comes top of the near circle to Chikachi. Chikachi outside the near circle. That rimmed in along the end boards right back behind Letterer into the far corner. Whitelock trying to grab that. That held in at the far point, but then deflects in along the near boards of the neutral zone. Chikachi has it back in his own zone. Banks it ahead and along the near boards. Coattree grabs it. Coattree retreats to his own blue line, fires it along the far boards of the neutral zone. That fed over. Here comes Caribbean. Caribbean, top of the near circle. Drop pass over to Chikachi outside the near circle. That pulled away. Here comes the Pirates as Shepard has it. Shepard drop pass, trying to get it over to Sullivan in the slot. Shot, saved by Davis. Oh, good save by Davis, and way to not give up a rebound as it was Evans right on his doorstep looking to make him pay, and Davis would not oblige. 1 minute, 18 seconds left to go in the Pioneer power play. They have the 4-2 lead. 13:28 left to go in the third. Face-off to Davis's right in the near face-off circle. Drussin taking that face-off for Pinckney. That comes in along the far boards, rolls on edge into the Pinckney zone in along the far circle. That pulled outside the near circle, trying to set that up, and there is a whistle. As Letterer looks like he is having a couple issues. His helmet came off. Hopefully he's all right. He's got a glove off. He's kind of leaning over to his left. We're hoping he's okay. Maybe just an equipment issue. 13:17 left to go here in the third period. Pioneer up 4-2. They have a power play for the next minute, 6 seconds. As it's Caribbean out there, Coattree, Chikachi. I believe that's Whitelock over there, and Fitzgerald are the 5 for Pioneer. On the other side, Druss, who has been a really solid for Pinckney. That puck in along the near boards, trying to fire it in deep into the near corner. Caribbean has it. He's put really heavy into the boards. He's not moving, and now he gets up. Oh, thank gosh. He sat there for a second. So a little bit of extra energy. People discussing their favorite parts of the spring season. As O'Neill goes into the box for 2 minutes, Pioneer will have a 5-on-3 for 56 seconds. And then they will have a minute 4-second 5-on-4, now barring anything else happening. Caribbean is all right. He's taking the face-off. That comes back to the near point. Coattree has it. Coattree, high slot, moves it over top of the far circle. Pioneer with it into the far corner. Cross-checking the penalty to O'Neill. That's a save by Letterer. 47 seconds left to go here in the original penalty. 12:57 left to go in the third. Face-off will be to Letters right in the far face-off circle. That puck lifted back. Caribbean has it. Top of the far circle. Caribbean moving with it. Now sends it over to the near side. Shikachi has it. Sending it. There's Coatry. High slot. That drop back. Fitzgerald trying to grab it. Now that steered into the near corner. Fitzgerald outside the near circle with it. Fitzgerald drops it back to Shikachi. Shikachi into the near corner he goes. Outside the near circle. Feeds it back. There's Coatry trying to put it out in front. And a shot and a score as it came to the near side. And I'm trying to see who that was. I believe that was we'll see. That looks like it was Fitzgerald there, but we'll get the official call. But Pioneer goes up 5-3. The first penalty then is pulled off the board. I believe it had not expired yet. So 1 minute 24 seconds left in the second penalty. We'll get the official tally on who that was. I believe it was Fitzgerald. But the puck shot and deflected just to the near side of the goal and fired that in. And the puck at the blue line comes over to Liam Schaefer. Liam Schaefer fires it over to Yang coming down the far boards.
From number 13, Sean Fitzgerald.
It was Fitzgerald.
Number 9, Ethan Grote.
Coatry on the assist, as well as Shikachi. As that puck, top of the near circle, now pulling it over. Dixon fires it over to Yang. Yang with a shot. That deflects outside the near circle. Pioneer trying to keep it in. That lifted into the neutral zone, fired right back in by Liam Schaefer. 47 seconds left to go in the Pioneer power play. As that puck lifted all the way back, cleared, stopped. Now Liam Schaefer picks it up back behind. 11:44 left to go as it's Pioneer 5, Pinckney 2. Brought ahead by Lucas Schaefer. Lucas Schaefer, top of the near circle, goes through the slot as he's pulled off of the puck. The puck in along the far boards. Dixon trying to send it deep as that comes back behind the goal. Trying to knock it the other way. Lucas Schaefer feeds it over to Monsma. Monsma trying to get it out in front as that is whistled down for some reason. I think, the net came off once more. 16 seconds left to go in the Pioneer power play. It was a power play goal on a 5-on-3 and made it 5-2 for Pioneer. Again, that was Fitzgerald from Coatry and Shikachi. Coatry to take the face-off. On the other side is Evans in that far face-off circle. That to Letter's right. That puck through the slot, trying to pull that in. Rimming it all the way around. Trying to stop it. Pioneer has to retreat as McDaniel fires cross-ice pass. Now comes over to Shikachi. Shikachi trying to feed it in along the far boards. That lifted all the way back in along the end boards of the Pioneer zone. McDaniel avoids some pressure by Pinckney. Comes up the far side now, trying to get it over to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald feeding it over, bringing it in as a battle for it. Right through the slot. That lifted back. There's a shot by Coatry off the side of the net and fired in. Fitzgerald, somehow Letter got the save. Is that puck into the near corner. Trying to pull it away is Evans. That through the slot. Fitzgerald picks it up, top of the far circle. Shot from there, comes over. Shikachi with the score! Pioneer makes it 6-2 as that was fed in beautifully. Shikachi with the goal. I believe that was Fitzgerald on the assist, but we will double check that. 10:33 left to go here in the third. Face-off will be at center ice. Coatry in to take the face-off. Shepard or Druss on the other side. The puck into the near corner. Liam Schaefer with it in his own zone. Liam Schaefer spins, gets it over to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald goes back behind Davis. So it was Chikachi from Fitzgerald, then Coattree, as it's a breakaway coming all the way down. Here comes Druss with it, diving in the way. Liam Schaefer sacrificing his body, taking a fantastic scoring attempt away from Pinckney. That puck held in at the far point, bouncing puck. Davis got a piece of it, puts it into the near corner. That deflects. Coattree trying to pull it. Druss outside the near circle. Druss has been a tough opponent all game long. That lifted back behind. That's sent back by Jenkins into the near corner of the Pioneer zone. Trying to grab that tipped O'Neill. Now here comes Coattree. Coattree top of the near circle. Coattree through the slot. Shot. That knocked away. Into the far corner. Evans goes right back behind Lederer. As that coming down the near side, here comes Evans, feeds it in along the near boards. That lifts back into the Pioneer zone. Churchill has it outside the near circle of his own zone. Churchill sends it ahead along the near boards of the neutral zone. Here comes Whitelock. Whitelock with the shot. Good save by Lederer. That comes back out through the neutral zone, heading the other direction. Here comes Pinckney, as that sent deep by Evans, back in along the end boards, trying to grab that Sullivan. He racks that around. Christopher outside the far circle, trying to pull that. Pioneer moves it down into the neutral zone. Sullivan grabs it right back in along the near boards. That puck into the near corner. Sullivan battling Martin. Now Lucas Schaefer trying to peel it out. That comes right back behind Davis. Churchill trying to poke that, as that's Christopher on the far side. Evans comes in trying to peel it off of the far boards as well. Whitelock gets it out of the zone, but fired right back in by Jones as that comes outside the near circle. Lifted to the near point, but held in by Pinckney as they're keeping the pressure on. The puck outside the far circle, trying to tip it. That back in along the M boards. Druss back there. Now that comes off top of this near circle. Now that lifted all the way through here, racing for it. Lucas Schaefer chipped it. That into the near corner. Shepard switching directions. That went off of a Pioneer player. Meade chasing it. Now Pioneer right at their own blue line. Trying to knock it the other way was Dixon. There's a shot. Pad save by Davis. That puck comes in along the near boards. Chip through the neutral zone. Chasing it Wilkins. Now trying to pick it up Meade. Going the other way. Meade over his own blue line. Feeds it ahead. That in along the far boards. Drush switches directions. Now trying to fire it deep into the far corner. Taking it Shepard. Over to Meade. That pulled away. Here comes Ben Martin. Ben Martin feeds it ahead. Now that sent deep by Wilkins into the Pinckney zone. Wilkins goes right back behind Lederer, trying to knock it away from Layton. As that puck comes, here comes Pinckney over their own blue line. Coming down the near side of it, Layton. Layton comes in along the near boards of the Pioneer zone. Picked up. Liam Schaefer knocks it. That comes outside the near circle, trying to pull that away. Meade. Now Pioneer. Good feed ahead as here comes Monsma. Dixon fed him well. Monsma through the slot as that's deflected into the near corner. Comes back behind Lederer. Now top of the far circle. Pioneer cross ice pass. There's Dixon, and a glove save by Lederer puts it into the near corner. There's a shot by McDaniel from the near point. That knocked down. Meade steers it again into the near corner. Gets it back to McDaniel top of the near circle. Feeds it over top of the far circle. Kresge with the shot. That deflects back behind. The puck pulled back to the far point. Kresge pinches, trying to rifle that back deep outside the far circle. Comes back. Chikachi sending it outside the far circle, picked up by the Pirates. 6:27 left to go here in the third. That brought me in deep as that puck ricochets back behind the net, comes out underneath the near circle, trying to lift it over. Fitzgerald feeding it ahead. Here comes Pioneer as Coattree has a head of steam, comes in, feeds it over to Chikachi. Chikachi, backhanded shot. Oh, Lederer with a heck of a save. That puck to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald with the shot. And again, getting a piece of it. Good sportsmanship as Fitzgerald helps Schmidt up. Schmidt looks like he's having some issues getting to the bench. We hope that young gentleman is all right. I think it's Schmidt. Yes, it is. So hopefully he just tweaks something and he'll be good. We don't want to see any of these young gentlemen injured. 6:05 left to go here in the third. Pioneer 6, Pinckney 2. Face-off in the near face-off circle. That is to Lederer's left. Official checking with Lederer, making sure he's all good. Coattree taking the face-off. Fitzgerald dropped back to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald with the shot. That steered into the far corner. O'Neal has it outside the far circle. Sends that ahead. That picked up by Mead. Mead gains the zone. Comes over top of the near circle. Mead spins. Stops. Firing out in front. Davis gets a piece of it. Oh, what a save by Davis as he kicked it. Came top of the cage and fell off the back. Mead outside the far circle. Kresge trying to knock that away. Here comes Chikachi. Feeds it over to Fitzgerald over center ice. Fitzgerald gets it back to Chikachi, who comes in at the near point. Chikachi trying to feed it. That fired by Shepard into the near corner, trying to knock it down. O'Neal puts his man into the boards. Now that picked up right back behind Lederer through the slot. Fitzgerald with the shot. Another save by Lederer. Coattree has it outside the near circle. Coattree goes high. Slot now goes from the near side to the far side, firing it over to Chikachi. Chikachi, top of the near circle, trying to fire it over to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald back into the far corner, trying to feed it out in front. That pulled away by Shepard. Now comes right back behind. Ticked and kelled in. That lifted over McDaniel, comes all the way back deep. Druss chases it outside the near circle, centering attempt. Druss comes top of the near circle, now works his way from the near side to the far side, feeding it over to Sullivan. Sullivan into the far corner of the Pioneer zone. 4:44 left to go. Pioneer with the 6-2 lead, and here they come through the neutral zone. Fitzgerald, top of the near circle, trying to avoid and get around Jones, comes and crashes right to the crease. Lederer able to keep it out as that puck comes right in along the end boards, grabbed by Beckwith. Beckwith sends it along the far boards as Whitelock trying to get it out in front. That off the side of the net. Now, right through the crease into the near corner goes. Battle for it outside the near circle. Whitelock trying to send it back deep. That shot steered away. Outside the far circle, Caribbean with it. Caribbean feeds it back behind, trying to get it over to Whitelock. That back, top of the far circle. Philip Schaefer with a shot. That knocked away. Good save by Lederer, and now here comes Pinckney the other direction. 6:56 left to go. Shot and a save by Davis. 3 minutes, 52 seconds left to go here in the third. It's Pioneers 6 and the Pinckney Pirates 2. Face-off is going to be to Davis's left in the far face-off circle. Caribbean in to take the face-off. Philip Schaefer to his left, Whitelock to his right. Across the way on the other side was Heath as that puck lifted into the neutral zone all the way down. Icing waved off as that puck in the far corner. Layton has it there. Trying to lift it in along the far boards, trying to start the rush for Pinckney, coming down the near side. Here comes Shepard. Shepard has speed. Shepard trying to weave his way through the defense. That poked away. Excellent defensive play by Pioneer. That came off of a skate. Layton with a shot. That deflects off the glass back behind Davis. Now Wisner puts it right back behind Davis. That pulled into the near corner as trying to pull that away was Cochran. Back to the near point. That deflected. Here comes Caribbean. Caribbean cross-ice pass trying to feed Whitelock. That poked away by Pinckney, but Whitelock fires it in deep before he goes off on a line change. 3 minutes, 2 seconds left to go here in the third. Pioneer with the 6-2 lead as that puck lifted back, right back behind Davis. Picked up. Here comes Martin with it. Martin underneath the near circle feeds it ahead. Coming down the near side, here comes Dixon. Dixon gains the zone. Dixon rides underneath the goal line. Shot and a save by Lederer. Oh, Dixon came down and then hit the goal line and cut right in. Tried to lift it and catch the top right-hand corner. Lederer with a fantastic save. 2:41 left to go here in the third. Pioneer with the 6-2 lead versus a very good Pinckney Pirate team. Monsman to take the face-off. Bouncing puck that lifted back into the neutral zone, corralled and fired right back in by Churchill. That off the boards. Dixon trying to make a move. Gets into the zone. He's poked off the puck by Shepard. That picked up. Dixon with a shot. That went off of a skate of O'Neal and lifted back into the neutral zone. Here comes Pioneer. That fired in deep by Martin. That lifted back into the far corner as Walling trying to knock it down. The puck outside the far circle, now lifted back into the neutral zone. Here comes Pinckney with it as Mead trying to work his way through the slot. Good job by Davis to knock that down. Bad save by Davis. Oh, boy. Davis trying to knock it away from Mead as he came out in front. The Mead put a wide-angle shot. Davis caught it with the leg pads and covered it up. Fantastic job. 2:04 left to go here in the third. Pioneer up 6-2 on Pinckney. Face off in the near face off circle. That picked up by Mead. Mead with a quick shot and another save by Davis. Face off in the near face off circle. That dropped. Shepard with it. Shepard has that deflected, picked up. Beckwith with a shot. That went off of Fitzgerald. Trying to tee it in front. That deflected into the near corner. 1 minute, 50 seconds left to go. Pioneer with the full goal, 4-goal advantage. Shepard rims it around the boards, trying to keep it in. Jones with a valiant attempt. Shepard has that, but that's poked away. And here comes Coatry. Coatry fires it deep. Heavy hit right in front of the Pinckney bench. That into the far corner. Grabbed by Jones. Jones sending it down. Chikachi has it at the far point. Backhands it in deep, trying to get it to Coatry. That grab back behind by Beckwith. Beckwith sends it outside the far circle. Now Druss gets it into the neutral zone. Corralled by Chikachi as he comes on the near side, trying to bank it off the far boards. That picked up by Layton. Layton fires it ahead. McDaniel has it right at his own blue line. 1 minute, 10 seconds left to go here in the third. Pioneer by 4 goals. That rimmed around by Fitzgerald outside the far circle. Picked up there by Layton. Layton comes over his own blue line. Layton coming down the far boards. That's steered away by Yang. Layton gets it back, but knocked away by Caribbean. Caribbean has it coming down the far boards of the neutral zone. He chips that ahead. Picked up by Wisner. Wisner down the near boards for Pinckney. Makes a move. Puts it deep. McDaniel steered him wide. That puck outside the near circle. Picked up by Schmidt. Good to see Schmidt okay as he's back out there. Wisner trying to get it out in front. That deflects, bouncing puck right on the near circle. McDaniel moves it over, and then that lifted all the way down the ice. 30 seconds left to play. 29.1 left in the third. Pioneer up 6-2. Face-off will be in the near face-off circle. That is to Davis's right. In to take the face-off. That's Caribbean into the near corner. Grabbed by Churchill. Churchill trying to send it. Now Lucas Schaefer sends it along the near boards into the neutral zone. That lifted the other direction by Pinckney. Chipped right back in. Now pulled back. Churchill outside the near circle. He's run into the walls, but trying to knock it away. Wisner has it. 10 seconds left to go. Wisner in along the end boards, trying to fire it out in front. That got caught on the net. Now comes back, trying to feed it out in front. Davis got a piece of it. Davis covers it up with 1 second left to go. Well, actually 0.7 seconds left to go, but Davis doing a good job to cover it up. Pioneer 6, Pinckney 2. This Pinckney team beat Skyline in overtime, and they're going to call it. That is the end of the game. So, tomorrow we will have the Pioneer men's basketball games. I've heard the freshman game has been canceled at 4 o'clock. I'm going to double check that, but that was the text I received. But we will have the 5:30 JV game and the 7 p.m. Men's game. Varsity game from Pioneer. The ladies are playing as well. They'll be at Huron, but we can only get one of those sets of games. So we'll cover the home game there. Then we have a Pioneer women's game on Tuesday. Then the men's hockey team plays again on Wednesday, 3:30 versus Skyline at the Ann Arbor Ice Cube. So lots of good things coming up this week. We really appreciate you watching and cheering for these teams wherever you are at. Thank you for your support of these athletes. For my cameraman, James Wiseman, my name is Mark Wiseman. Thank you to you amazing, wonderful fans. Have a great rest of your Sunday. Good night.